Hello everyone and welcome back to the MLG Columbus Pick'em Challenge, and we are on day 2. If you guys watched all the matches, I didn't watch MVS and CSGO, I had schooling going on, but if you guys watched everything else, you realize that some of them were a lot closer than they should be, and some of them were, hint hint, G2 versus Pro, were a lot one-sided than you would think. So I'm going to be going over a couple of the picks that I think are going to be a tough one to choose, so that you guys have a better understanding. For example, as you can see, I'm picking Flipside over Mouse Sports, and I say this because if you look back at the first day matches, and you go to NIP and Flipside game, everyone scored 20 plus kills. Very respectable mark law. Bondic and Char were keeping them in that game. And surprisingly, if you look at the frags, you would think Flipside should win over NIP, but NIP had some clutch rounds. Like Threat had a good 1v3, amazing clutch that honestly he should not have won, but whatever works. Now when you look at Mouse Sports, you have Nico and you have Chris J. Those two went head to head. They had the same exact amount of kills and deaths, and they won 16-13. A lot closer scoreline than they could have been. Fallen could have done better. Nonetheless, Luminosity won, and Mouse Sports didn't look as good as they should be. But the fact that Nico and Chris J stepped up, that could have been a disaster. So that's why I'm saying Flipside's gonna win. And back to here. Obviously, FaZe Clan over Splice, because even though FaZe did have a slow start against Liquid, um, as you can see, Liquid started off T side. So as you can see, like Liquid had a good 12-3 half going on. So not looking too well, but then once these guys hit CT or T side, they came back. I mean, they got a solid 8 rounds before Liquid managed to tie it off. So I feel like if they can hit early, and if Jacob can actually show up this game against who are they by again? Against Splice, which I'm pretty sure he can, because Splice is a tier 2 North American team easy. That's what I'm saying. FaZe. Even though Envious did get stomped against COG, which is totally unexpected. I feel like they'll be more prepared. They wouldn't want to lose to Gambit, even though Gambit did give a tough showing to Astralis, which again was also surprising. But I feel like Envious is going to do their homework tonight. Easily, come back in the morning, take them out, advance to the winner's bracket, and who they're playing? The winner of this game, right? I think so. No. Okay, so they'll be playing the winner of the winner's bracket down here. So they'll be playing the winner of these two, or the loser of these two. My bad. And obviously, I'm gonna say Cloud9. Even though Cloud9 did lose to Navi, I did say that they were, but they had a really good showing. Let's see what they do. They lost 16-9, but they did have a good. Go here. They did have a good 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rounds, 7-2 start before Navi called a crucial timeout and just kind of stopped all momentum from going. But other than that, like Cloud9 looked really well. Felt like they were doing good, and that's why I think they're gonna be G2, because G2. I don't even want to go back to the matches because 16-1, RPK with 15, Smith with 4. I mean, no one was there that game. I mean, RPK was, Shocks kind of was, but it was a quick match to watch. Now, Luminosity versus NIP. I don't know if Get Right and Forest can play how they just played against Flipside, even though Luminosity is a higher tier team. Like, I don't know, it could go either way. But if we take a look at the stats again, Get Right Forest definitely carried the team. Exist had 20 frags. Threat actually did pretty good. For a coach, he did very well for not playing an entire year. So I feel like if they do videos, go over how to stop them, and they get a map they're good at, they can actually beat Luminosity. Because Fallen did have a sick wall bang on Dark and Mirage, but other than that, he didn't seem like he was there that game compared to how he normally does. FNX did good. I mean, it could go 50-50. I am going to say that NIP is going to win, make it out of the groups like they always do. I mean, I don't really need to discuss this much. Even if Team Liquid did show promise against FaZe, Fnatic's just too good of a team right now to actually, have something done against them. And if you guys watch his Charles Gambit game, and saw the interview afterwards with what was his name, Kerrigan, then you do know that Kerrigan was feeling ill when he was supposed to be doing research against Gambit, so they just went and played him going in blind, and they still managed to win. I think it was like 16-8. I actually pulled up right now. 16-10, my bad. And, did I just freeze this? I think it just froze this. But, they did pretty well for going in blind, so I feel like tonight they're not going to make that mistake and actually study against CLG because they did beat MVS 16-8, even though MVS are in a pretty big slump right now. And they'll just come in and do what they normally do. Now, if you did watch the Cloud9 Navi game, you do know that Guardian has some wrist problems, and that he said he's not trying to go all out in the group stages because he wants to save it for when he gets to the quarterfinals, semifinals, and whatnot. And so I don't feel like he's going to be there against Virtus Pro, at least not as big as he normally is. Prime example in Cloud9 game. And unless the other players step up, and they're not consistently about doing that, they're not going to. And if Virtus Pro plays how they just played tonight, there's going to be no stopping them. It's going to be easy 16-8 win against Navi. But again, this all depends on what map gets played. Like all these games, they could go either pick. It just depends on which map gets picked. Because if a team's good map gets picked and it's the other team's bad map, but for example, like say I don't know, Flipside. Flipside gets one of their worst maps chosen, but it's one of Mousesport's best maps. Then Mousesport has a better chance of winning than Flipside does, and then this pick is totally irrelevant, even though Mousesport did worse in day one compared to Flipside. So these are my picks. Just gotta wait for the next day before they get submitted, and hopefully, we don't get these two upsets. Because even the analysis were kind of confused on G2's performance today, because they all said that with Virtus Pros certainly coming into the tournament performing totally lackluster and just not performing at all, that G2 were going to run away with this, and it turned out to be the other way, that Virtus Pro ran away with this 16-1. Well, those are my picks. This one, NIP versus Luminosity, is probably the biggest one that can go either way. That, Mouse Sports, and then Cloud9 and Navi. So there's like 4 out of the 8 that can go either way. But other than that, the rest of them are pretty cut and dry on which team's going to win. And the fantasy team, obviously you got to have Crims, because he's just very consistent. Nico, with how he played today and some of the shots he hit, I believe that if he gets put into a 1v2 situation, which he's very known for getting out of, he's going to do very, very well. You will get a lot of frags. Happy. I don't know what happened today. Hopefully, with them doing the research geek Gambit, if they do get put on some ecos, he will get some more frags. And then Snacks, I believe Snacks is their entry fragger. I'm not 100% sure. But he fragged well today, so even if he doesn't get a bunch of opening kills, the 2 points per kill, he'll do pretty well. And then I have World at Opping because he did do alright against NIP, and he did frag well, so even without the sniper rifle kills, he will frag decently well. And hopefully they do win. I've already submitted the team, so I can't change anything if I wanted to, because I don't think I can. And these are my picks for day 2 of Columbus of 2016. And I'll try to get this posted as soon as possible so that you guys can look at it and determine your picks, see if you want to help. I wouldn't recommend, like choosing the same exact thing I have. Always do some research, and if you watch the games and have your own opinions, pick the teams how you would pick them. Same with the players. If you have favorite players that you like to have, and this and that. Just one note, on the third day when all the winning teams move on to the quarterfinals, and then the final teams have to, I'll show you real quick. So like whoever wins out of these 4 down here will move on to the top spots of the quarterfinals, and the rest will be playing here. So when your team pick'ems, make sure you don't have people playing that are playing April 1st, but not today or tomorrow. Jesus, March 31st. Make sure they're playing and not having people put in that are supposed to be playing April 1st, because you won't get any points for your team pick'em. I mean for your fantasy pick'em, and it'll ruin your chance of actually getting anything. Because I'll show you what happened last major. I forgot that these 3 had buys, so even though these 2 did good, yeah, it just kind of ruined everything because I just totally forgot that these guys weren't playing that day. But yeah, other than that, I did pretty well. I did get 42% because of that reason, but if you guys liked the video, please leave a like, and if you haven't already, please subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys later.